pleasure to be asked to be here on the night of Charlie Keating's launch of his CD. And I suppose last night I was listening to Joe Byrne, and he was mentioned earlier, and Joe certainly and Charlie had a lovely programme last night where they went through for a couple of hours the new CD. And so I'd like to congratulate Charlie for the CD, and success to Charlie and to Sons of Ale. Maybe just to give some context to the poem that I will recite this evening. And to give some background to it, the reason I do that, the poem itself is very short. There's only 2 verses in it. So to get some airtime up here, I said I'd better talk a bit about it. So the poem itself was actually written 100 years ago, and I suppose a lot of what's happening here tonight, it's history that's been made tonight with the CD being launched, but a lot of it actually dates back to 100 years ago. And the poem that I will be reciting actually dates back, it was written this year, this very year, 100 years ago. It was written by my maternal grandfather, Pat Tunney, from Derrykelly, and his father McGrail said he has another occasion on Saturday night where he's going to launch that book out in Derrykelly. So Pat Tunney had written over 200 poems and ballads, and he wrote about people of the time and of the 1916 era, and part of that was actually writing about Roger Casement and other significant figures. What I didn't know when I came in here tonight was that Charlie's granddad was in Frankfurt with him. Pat Tunney was in Frankfurt probably at the same time, so I didn't make that connection until I came in here tonight. So, but he said he wrote about significant figures of the time. And 100 years ago in Dublin they had William Butler Yeats writing brilliant poems. In Mayo we had Pat Tunney writing it. And so the connection between Pat Tunney and Roger Casement, so they were both involved in the 1916 Rising, so exactly 100 years ago. They were both arrested and interned in British jails after 1916. Both were poets, and I suppose what Charlie Keating has done here, and I suppose the connection with Charlie Keating and Pat Tunney isn't just this CD tonight, is that Charlie has already recorded a number of Pat Tunney's songs, so including Drumming Long Ago, The Road to Carraholly, and I Bought My Ticket at Westport Station, which actually that song by Pat Tunney was written over 106 years ago. It was written in 1910. So there's a huge connection, taking us back 100 years. So, we thank Charlie for keeping that link and keeping the honour of people in the past, keeping it alive in music, and where music can be appreciated and heard, and it keeps those people's memory alive. So, with the song, the poem about Roger Casement, he was born in County Antrim, spent a lot of time in Africa, was involved in the unsuccessful 1916 landing in Kerry of the Arms, was arrested, and of course was hanged in Pentonville prison. And so the poem that I will go through, it has only 2 verses in it. A lot of Pat Tunney's poems, so my grandfather's poems, were lengthy poems, so there might be 10, 12 verses in it. This one is unique. There's only 2 verses in it. There's only 75 words in the poem, and it's called Roger Casement by Patrick Tunney. You're going to play it now. Mid the green glens of Antrim, St. Patrick oft prayed. Ere Danes and vile Saxons our land did invade. The faith of our patron is still burning bright, where Casement was born and he first saw the light. With such light he advanced to redeem our fair land from the throes and the wiles of a cruel, sordid band. The zeal of his gospel consigned him to fill the grave of a martyr in lone Pentonville. Thank you very much.